What's up, everybody? This is Carl from Techful Goodies, and this is the next TEMU haul. So I've had some issues getting this TEMU stuff here. I don't know if it's because of the changes in tariffs or whatever's coming in. TEMU is basically doing some of their shipping differently in the fact that things that you can get locally shipped from the US come pretty quickly. So, for example, all these sort of small boxes down here on my desk, but then the bulk load here that's coming from China is actually coming in sort of this large package. And this one took 30 days to get here. TEMU does give you a $5 credit for that to sort of make up for that shipping, but in reality, it might just start taking longer and longer times. So I'll get my orders in early and see what we can do about that. But regardless, let's go ahead and jump right into this. So this is the user requested special, where I basically in the last TEMU haul asked if anyone had any suggestions on what I should get to try out, and everything here came from the comments down below. Now, there are more comments than I can get. There are more comments than I could actually find on TEMU as like a really good looking product. So I'll go ahead and go through all of what I got here, and if you were the one that requested it, hit me in the comments, but you'll probably know specifically from what you requested if one of these is yours. Anyway, let's get this started. I will start with this one. Why? Because it's open. This literally came within 1 or 2 days. I ordered it and it showed up at the door and I was like, what is this thing? Because I wasn't expecting anything from TEMU. Anyway, this was a user request, and I'm not going to say all the different names, but this one I particularly will say because he's a big fan of the channel. I've been on his podcast, all that kind of stuff. And this is from the Back to the Retro Review channel. I'll leave a link down below if you want to check it out. But he basically wanted me to go ahead and get a custom canvas with my logo on it. Now, TEMU allows you to order like a canvas or a print of whatever you want, and they have a bunch of different sizes. I kind of went with just 8.5 by 11 to try it out. So let's check this out. And this looks pretty darn nice, actually. So they also give you, I guess, some mounting screws and stuff to put in the wall in order to hang it up. So here it is. I'll give a good close up here so you can kind of see the texture of the canvas and see how well the logo printed out. So I have kind of like a vectorized version of my logo that I was able to upload and position the way that I wanted to. And this came out fabulous. I mean, look at that. I mean, from a distance, it looks good. Up close, it looks good. On the back, it looks like they've got a small sort of wooden frame in here. Everything's stapled along here nicely. I'm pretty impressed in general about the print quality of this. Now, I haven't tried anything that's like a full color image or anything like that, but something with just my sort of Techful Goodies logo on there, super duper nice. And have some of these mounting screws or brackets, if you want to use them, definitely available. That was a winner, 100%. I love this. I'm gonna stick this right back here. I'll figure out a better place for that in the future, but until then, it's going there. All right, what is next? What else did you guys want to see? All right, let's look at, yep, I opened this one too. Only to look on the inside here so you can see. That's all I saw. So this was basically someone requesting one of the drawing tablets or for kids or whatever. Now, I previously did get one of those in my TEMU hauls and gave it to my nephew, and it was broken within a few minutes. So it wasn't one that I wanted to repurchase. So I wanted to get something a little bit different. So this is a transparent drawing tablet that has a light that shoots up from underneath and sort of makes whatever you draw on there glow. So let's go ahead and give this a try. Basically, it's this sort of flat panel. You have to remove the film on here. And then I think you put it here in the stand. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, the light's built in here, so you don't even need any batteries. You just need to plug it in. This is really just a stand to hold the whole unit. So this kind of opens up kind of like a tripod, and then this has a multi sort of articulating arm here. So let's see, we'll put it in. Let me remove these sweet films. And I'm assuming all you do is kind of toss this here. I guess you need to line it up so that it fits there together. And let me lean it back just a little bit so you can actually see it when I draw on it. There we go. So let's plug this in. All right, so they also give you a set of pens here. So I guess these are dry erase pens that you can use. I don't know if they give you an eraser or not. But this is really going to work if you want to kind of leave notes around your house for somebody. Hey, I'm going to the store. I'll be back in a little bit. Yeah, they give you this little microfiber cloth, which is going to be the eraser. And does everything need to fight me today as far as opening goes? There we go. All right, let's pick a color. A couple colors, 3 colors, 4 colors. Pink. Oh. that's that's surprisingly cool. All right, that was pink. Yellow. Wow. How does that work? Orange, because my handwriting is so good. Or not go. There you go. Orange. That's how you spell orange. Don't even put it in the comments. It's how you spell it. Oregano. Orangano. Anyway, this is cool. I don't know how well the colors show up here. Here, let's try a darker color. Oh, I'm loving that. And then you basically take, I guess, the microfiber cloth and rub it off. That works pretty good. Leaves a little residue behind. I know you're going to get that on your hands. Am I having such a hard time? Yes. And white. Let's try that. Man, these lids are on. No. That works great. And I've got all the bright lights on around here. I'm not even sure how well you can kind of see that, but basically you can see that the light is shooting up from the bottom here and making this stuff glow. That's 2 in a row that I'm actually very surprised by. And this is I'm pretty cheap. I'm putting all the prices up. You've probably seen it already, just so you can see what I got it for. And remember, typically when it takes a month for me to get that product, sometimes it's sold out. So what I did this time, everyone thought in my last TEMU haul that I misread the listing for the little tiny ruler I got, but I didn't. It was the only listing left, and it was like a dual set. Anyway, I took a screenshot of the time of purchasing so you know what I paid for it. And sometimes you can actually use like reverse Google image search or whatever it is to be able to find it. Or even TEMU has like an image search if you want to use something like that. Anyway, I'll make sure those are all up there, but this is awesome. Thanks for that suggestion. I will definitely use it. Gone to the store, be back at 3. Even if you have like a business or something, be back, at lunch, be back at 1:15. Way better than just a normal dry erase board. Next in the package here, let's see, I'll just go through all these individually wrapped packages and see what we got in them. Let's try this one out. Let's see what's in here. Again, I hope this stuff is from TEMU. It doesn't say it is, but I'm assuming because of the way it's packaged, it is. So this is a solar light, I think. Yeah. So, no. Yeah, solar light. So this is a solar light that you can actually take outside and kind of screw. You can see the top screws here and the solar panel here. So you screw this into the top of your deck railing or wherever you want it to be. I have some solar lights outside that I had that I put onto the side of the deck, but the problem is it gets covered up by the decking. So I was hoping that this overlapping the top would actually be a good thing. I'm noticing here that it does come with an internal battery. That's obviously because it's solar charged or solar powered. It also comes with some of these little sticky things here. Now I see 3 of them, but there's 4. There's another one at the bottom. So it comes with screws, comes with the little sticky things if you don't want to drill into the thing that you're putting it on. But let's go ahead and try to turn one of these on. Yeah, oh, it doesn't look very bright, but that might just be the battery. But the idea is that at nighttime, these should come on and then illuminate part of your deck. So you can see here, I guess that's kind of how bright it is. I don't know. I'm conflicted, right? Because these small batteries that come in all these solar chargers aren't enough to last all night long. And the ones that I have outside, they turn off after 10 seconds of motion. And that bothers me because I just want a nice lighting across the evening. Now, the fact that this is, there we go. Now, how dim will that be? I don't know. Well, someone suggested, hey, try some solar outdoor lights. And these were pretty unique in the way that they go on there. And then I'm hoping that they're not motion sensitive, that there's just solar charging. And then when it gets dark, it'll come on automatically. All right, that was fine. That was fine. What is next in the box? I wonder if this is, yes, this is what I'm thinking of. So this is supposed to be a Samsung lookalike smartwatch. I mean, I've always been interested in looking at sort of these knockoffs or kind of duplications or whatever. But, I use my Apple Watch all the time. And I thought, well, maybe one of my kids would like to use this because it looks a little bit different than just being an Apple Watch. And if you are interested in sort of the Samsung watches, this might be an interest to you because how it looks and maybe how it functions. I know off the bat it's not going to function anything like the actual watch, but let's check this out. So in the box you have, you got like a little magnetic charger for the back of the watch, just like my iWatch here or my Apple Watch. You have a watch band, instructions, and nothing else. So this right off the bat feels surprisingly good in the hand. It's not like lightweight. I feel like it's completely chintzy. So here it is up close. Now I haven't turned it on, obviously, but you can kind of see that even on the back here, they've got the whole sort of sensor system that might hook into some kind of app. The dials on the side. This might be a bit promising. I wonder if there's something here for me to pull off on the back. Yeah. And then there's some plastic you have to pull off the back to make sure you get the contact. So let's go ahead and check this out. Watch band goes on just like a normal iPhone or regular old smartphone watch band. So plastic on the front. Well, I'm concerned I might not have the expertise in this kind of watch to give you a full review. So what I'll do is kind of turn it on. We'll poke around, see what we come up with. All right, she's starting up. English. Okay. Yes. All right, so they give you, so it has its own specific app. All right, well, all right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get this set up and then we'll take a look and see if we can see how it works. But while that's installing, I will say that this is pretty nice feeling. It doesn't, like this rubber, I would have expected to be a little bit more hard and plasticky, but it's just fine normal rubber, like a standard watch band. The clasp is metal, this thing here is plastic, but this whole thing is metal and it just looks really good quality. I'm surprised for, the price that we ended up paying for it on TEMU. I don't know how long these will be available. I've seen some Apple Watch stuff come in and out there real quick, but if you're interested, go check it out. And one thing that's a big red flag for me is the fact that, two things you need to be aware of is that when you use something like this, you're exposing your data to, whatever the app manufacturer is or the watch manufacturer is. Now, if you don't intend to use this for a whole lot of stuff other than just notifications and stuff like that, maybe it's not okay, but I need you to know that so that you can make up your own mind on that. The other thing is that immediately this app has ads. Just the app to connect a device has ads. And I'm not sure why that would be. Setting it up was pretty simple. Just, I guess, kind of found it. Let's see here. It wants to access my calendar. Don't allow. And I can understand why. It's going to give me notifications when I get appointments. But at the same time, this is not going to be, I don't know if I'm going to use this or not. I just don't want everything to have as much information about it. I already give it to Apple, and I don't like that. And I trust them-ish. Every time I want to add or pair something, it's giving me an ad. All right, so we got it all set up. Now, one of the things I've noticed is that just tapping on the screen here doesn't turn it on. You actually have to hit the button on the side. And you can see here exactly how this watch face looks. Now, it's cool. I definitely think it's cool. So let me switch to a different watch face, one that's more, oh my gosh. So you have to buy the watch faces, VIP. If you're a VIP, it's free. Anyway, mixed feelings on this, right? I think it's fun, right? But I'm not going to be nickel and dime to death for every little thing or changing every little thing. 99 cents for a watch face. I mean, that just doesn't make sense. Get ads all over the app. No, thank you. So let's go ahead and just turn this on. Let's see what we can look around with, just so you can at least, okay, click that button to turn it on. You have this face thing here, the little dial. It'll sort of sync with your health information, sleep timer, heart rate, playing audio on your watch, remote control, So it seems like there's some apps pre-built into the dial here. Is there like an application? So this is your health information here on the bottom, and on the top here is on and off. This is on and off too. Oh yeah, so I guess they do have like an app section. So this does perform really well. It's not like there's a lot of latency. It's very similar to the operating system that we're used to, but I don't want to spend too much time on this. If you have any questions down below, feel free to ask. I'll try to answer them. But if you're looking for something to mess around with and potentially have a watch to use, you don't have to give them access to all your data. If you want to buy watch faces, you can. It's up to you. I mean, that's why I do these, but it's nice that it has a little charger here. And it is a really good, solid quality. Like the screen is great. The fact that it has the sensors on the background is surprisingly nice. So make up your mind. Give it a try. Who knows? Anyway, let's see what's next. Didn't want to spend forever on that one thing. All right, what in this little bag right here? All right, so someone was actually interested in me picking up a USB hub. Now, there are different things that you need to think about if you want to split your USB on your computer. Are you looking for a docking station? Are you looking for a USB-C that includes the HDMI, all that kind of stuff? This is basically just, I believe, from what I can remember, a USB hub. You can hook a bunch of different USB things into one USB port. Now, the problem with that is the USB port only has about 5 watts of power, from my understanding, or 5 volts. So you actually usually have to buy something that has a power cable that plugs into it, or else you won't be able to use a bunch of different devices. It'll sort of run out of power and you'll have a lot of problems. So I looked around for a little bit on TEMU and picked up this one because it looked promising. So here's the actual device itself. You can see that it basically has, the one cord in. It's a nice big thick cord, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different spots where you can plug things in. And then it also has a charging port on the bottom. Let's see if it, yep, and then it does come with a power brick. So where do you plug this in? So on the top here, you do have a DC in, and this is your USB that you're plugging into your machine. Let me get that in focus for you, DC in. So what you're gonna do is basically take this plug it in to the wall. Excuse me, Optimus Prime. And then once you do, each one of these will light up even though it's not plugged into the computer. And the reason that is because this also allows you to be able to turn off each one. It's like a little long press kind of. You can turn off each one of these additional USB ports. If you don't want them all active, you can just have one. So if you have something you have plugged in that you don't use all the time and you want to be able to control it from here, you can without having to unplug it, plug it back in, unplug it, plug it back in. There are these ports on the top, but it looks like there is also a fast charging port. So if you want to charge with this too, that's what a lot of people misunderstand sometimes about the USB ports, is the fact that they are that low power. So once you add an additional power brick into this, then you have the additional power to be able to power all the ones on the top and the one here for charging. So as far as the quality goes, this is all plastic, not surprising, but it is nice that this is pretty long, and then this cord looks to be pretty beefy. Let me show you that. So in comparison to a normal cord, see if I can possibly show you this. You can see, so this is the one right here that came with the USB hub, and this is a normal USB cord. So you're getting a little bit more of a thicker cord. How that translates into performance or anything like that, I'm not sure. Because this is a USB 3.0 connection, 3.0, 3.1, that means you're going to be able to plug that into the higher speed on your computer. And then each one of these will be able to provide the correct amount of speed without getting bogged down into the lower USB 2.0 speeds. So all in all, this one looks pretty good. I don't know what kind of tests I can do, what kind of maximum speed I can get through this. The problem with that is that it really depends on the devices that you're using and what the device is. Usually USB thumb drives that you would plug in are slow anyway, so you're not going to get the best idea out of this. What I might use this for is on the back of my TV, I have a lot of things that are plugged in. I have a Fire Stick plugged in. I have my LED lighting that goes around the TV. And I didn't want to have a lot of cords coming down behind it. So what I did was I double stick taped this to one of these to the back of my TV and then plugged it in. So I have one cord plugged in, and then I have the ability to power all those things. And I'm not using it as a hub, I'm just using it as a power distribution for USB. But you can also use this on your computer to be able to plug in all sorts of different USB devices. Hopefully whoever requested that, this is a good example. I would definitely recommend this. I have no issues with it. Again, I'm starting to do more of the 60, 90, 120-day reviews of how these things held up over time. I'm trying to catch up on those. I'm getting closer. You've probably seen a couple of them come out recently, but I'll keep doing them. And that just gives you the opportunity to see how these things fare over time. Anyway, this is pretty good. Definitely a good suggestion. Something that I'll use. But let's check it out. What's next? Here it is. It's one of my favorite TEMU things ever is this little tiny opener. It doesn't have a huge blade, so I don't feel like I'm just going to slice myself, but it has the ability to kind of open boxes and products pretty easily. All right, what is the bunch of loose stuff? Oh, all right. All right. So, in the past, someone in the comments requested that I get a digital microscope that you can connect to your computer. In the past, I've got the small little digital microscope that I was really sort of happy with and very sort of impressed by. But this one in particular is that the one thing I didn't like about it is that you had to take that little microscope and literally lay it on top of the thing that you were trying to see. And if it has any undulations like a circuit board or something like that, you can't get it in focus. So I got a little bit of a different option here. Whether or not this fits into the, oh no. I keep interrupting my own self by pulling crap out of this box. Really? Nowadays, I have to install drivers from a CD? I don't even have a CD-ROM on my computer. What the hell? Did this thing come from 1990? Oh, no. What the hell? Let's plug it in and just see what happens anyway. Are you kidding me? All right, so it comes with a very, very high quality, not high quality plastic. Oh my God, I'm gonna snap it. So this is basically, look at this. You can tighten this up, but it's all plastic. I mean, it'll do the job, but eventually I think this thing is gonna fail on you. But the idea is that you have this smallish little microscope type thing. Hello, microphone. I don't know. So here is the small little microscope thing that plugs into your computer via USB. And I suppose if there is drivers on here that require you to somehow have an app to install, I'm not doing that. I will warn you right off the bat, you will not see how well this works because I won't do that right now. But I guess this snap ring goes right into there. All right. And then you can kind of angle this the way you want. Let's go ahead and just plug it in the computer and see what happens. Immediate failure. First of all, the sucky part about this is that this cord is just, he wants to yank the thing over because there's no weight in this bottom base here. This doesn't have any weight to it, but it still stands up. How to actually view this? I'm going to use OBS and see if it shows up as a camera source. Let's try that. That way I can actually record it for you. One of the good things about the other one that I got is that it records onto a TF card that's directly into the machine itself. Interestingly enough, they also give you a USB-A to a USB-C converter. Ah, it does work. Whew, that's a bad resolution. I wonder what the resolution is actually on this. And I checked the listing real quick, and it doesn't say anything about resolution. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and see what we can do with this. Let's put something under there. Let's put this little smartwatch thing. Why am I? Oh, there's a lens. Oh, there's a lens cap on there, first of all, which is going to screw up your picture. All right, trying to figure out how to use this. So the idea is that right here there is, I believe, like a focus ring or a zoom in ring. Let's see. Yeah, you can. Oh, there we go. So you can use this to kind of focus. Now this is kind of solves the issue that I was looking at before. Let me go ahead and see if I can up the. So that's a default device resolution, but can I go up a little higher? Nope, 640 by 480 is the max I have coming out of there. Okay, but you can see that this is what I'm looking at right now, is this right here. And then if I come around here, I can kind of pick the spot that I want to look at. So let's go ahead and pick another thing. So here it looks like if I was too close to this, what I can do is kind of pull it up a little bit. And then there we go. You can kind of see how close this gets into the zoom, which isn't too bad. If you're using the driver, you can actually click this to click a snapshot of that, or you can turn the light off if you, or you can turn the light on brighter, much brighter, much brighter, or completely off. Guess I'm shaking this all around. So, even though that took a minute there to get going, and it has its own drivers, which I don't have a CD-ROM for, this seems kind of nice. And the reason I'm saying that is that you don't even have to use this stand. You know, if you want to look at something like this, that even if you're a little bit further away, let's get a spot here, I can try to adjust the focus, there we go, and actually see what is on the device without having it jammed right up against it. So yeah, this is nice. So it has its pros and it has its cons. It has a crappy little stand here that's potentially going to break. Has software that you have to use an ancient CD device for, which I don't happen to have on any of my computers really anymore. Maybe I could go to the manufacturer and download it. But if you look at the results here, not too bad as far as the zooming mode comes in. I mean, the lighting here makes it just a little bit brighter. And again, the ability to focus or change the sort of focus point, I think is pretty important, especially if you're working on something. So if you're working on something like soldering, you can get in there and not have to hold this. If you got a different arm for that, it might work out, but great suggestion. This one, potentially better than the one I got before, but potentially could cause more headaches. But yeah, definitely check it out. I think it might be worth it. If you want to use the driver, if you want to install that, I'm sure you can do some anti-malware checks or something on that. If you don't want to do that, just use OBS and add this as like a webcam source, and it seems to work pretty good. Alrighty, so I think we've gotten some good winners so far. Little calibration thing for the microscope. So I think we've got some good things so far, some things that are a little iffy, but let's keep going. So we're at the point where all the things left are in this big bag here. And these are all the things that took a month to show up. Everything I showed previous to now did not take a month. It probably took about one in between, like 2 days and 2 weeks to show up randomly. All right, what else we got in here? There's another box. Product name, portable display, 5 volts, portable display, 1 amp, screen size 4.3 inches. Now, someone specifically requested a USB-C portable monitor, and I couldn't find one on there that was USB-C. And I'm not sure why I had a hard time with that, because anytime you get to USB-C, you're looking at larger monitors or whatever. So I went ahead and got one that was at HDMI because I can use it for another project that I'm thinking about working on. But you'll see here that it is very, very small. So I went ahead with like the very smallest one I could find. It is HDMI, and the good thing is that it does come with some cables. Okay, so you're gonna have a full-size HDMI to a, I think this is a mini HDMI, not micro HDMI. And because of that, you know my favorite thing to say, which is HDMI doesn't carry enough power to be able to power the device. So you end up having to have this little bit of extra power when wanting to show the display. So here's the device itself. I kind of thought it was a little bit different. I'll put up obviously the listing here, but on the side, you do have your micro USB here for power, and then a micro HDMI here. And that seems to be the maximum amount of things. So there is a button here. I don't know if it's power or menu. No, there's no button here. It's just a hole. 4.3 inch, not 5 something. And then 800 by 480 resolution. Now, if you're looking for something, it's not touchscreen. It's not anything special. It's usually meant for something like the Raspberry Pi, but you can use it for whatever purpose you want. So let's go ahead and give this a try. I'll give it a little bit of power. Alrighty, so I got my laptop here that has HDMI out because it was a little bit easier. And there you go. So there is the little monitor. Now, it might show a little bit washed out on the screen. I'm not seeing that here in real life, but on the camera, it might just have a little bit more washed out. In general, that's what you can expect. So these little monitors actually do work out pretty good. It is, I guess, an IPS display, so you're supposed to be able to see it from the side. And if you're specifically doing small projects, or if you just want a little monitor for something, that would end up working. But if you're trying to do anything detailed, you can't actually, I mean, barely even read the text there. I can't even get it in focus. Like, it's so small to read that text. But all in all, this is pretty nice. I think it's a little smaller than what I was expecting, but I'll still try to use this for my project. I'm going to make like a miniature Mac Classic that I can do some automated tasks with, but whatever, that might come up later on the channel. But so far, all metal outsides, some mounting points here on the back if you want to mount it, some other sort of screws here. And it looks like you can kind of go ahead and get a little, let's see if I can, yeah, you can get a little screw in here and kind of take this apart if you don't want to use this outer casing. There are other options out there, but since this was requested specifically, well, kind of specifically because I couldn't find a good USB-C small one, they're all HDMI. And if you don't want HDMI, mini HDMI, then that might not work for you if you need a full HDMI, but you can take a look around. I have purchased a few little portable monitors here and there, one on Amazon, one on TEMU, one on AliExpress. They've all been fine. Haven't had any issues with them. In fact, I use one of them here in my little counter screen that I did a video on, but yeah, not bad. I mean, something to look at. I mean, what else can I show you other than the fact that it turns on and you can use it and it works with Windows. It should work with anything that has an HDMI signal. Another good thing this might work out with is if I wanted a monitor for this camera right here or another camera, I can go ahead and sort of get it up here or connect it to the camera with like a little mount on the top of it so I can have an HDMI monitor. That actually might be a really good opportunity to use this because you want to see what's on the screen, but you may not have a screen that faces you when you're recording. Yeah, that would be good. I think that's good. We got a couple more, about four more things here. Oh, yes, I've been looking forward to this one. You may or may not know that I'm a big fan of Transformers. You may or may not know that. Someone said get a Transformers toy, and I have in the past gotten one. I did get this Optimus Prime, but it's not like it's like just more of an action figure that I got on Temu, and it kind of, you put it together and it's posable and all that kind of stuff. And I like this company, YOLO Park. They have a lot of good recreations, and I think they're licensed and everything. Don't hold me to that, but I think they are, to be able to create these recreations and sell them. So they have a lot of good options. I've seen a lot of them. I've avoided purchasing them because I just don't need any more toys. But since someone requested it, I had an excuse. This is Grimlock. Yes, one of the old school Dinobots. It's the 40-year Transformers throwback. So this is just a model kit. I didn't actually get the transforming toys. I think that's how they get the license to be able to do this stuff, is that they're not recreating the actual Transformers, but they are recreating what it looks like and how it looks when it is transformed out in a specific way. So this one looks pretty easy. You put these little tiny little T-Rex arms on. And it looks like you just have a couple of other pieces here. Got the tail, which looks like it goes on the bottom here. And the legs just pop on the side. Now, I don't need to transform. I don't need to do all that kind of stuff, but I do like to have kind of these things sitting around on my desk. I think you guys know that. But all in all, this actually looks pretty nice. And again, I like the company YOLO Park. I think they do really good quality stuff. And there's always that stuff. You can go directly to them or you can go to Temu to pick the stuff up. But if you're interested in buying action figures from some of the retro cartoons you may have watched, whether it's Voltron or Robotech or something like that, you can pick these things up. And now, a little Turtle Man here and little Optimus Prime Man here. I have a good little friend that can sit on the desk. Adjust it a little bit, and can sit on the desk and be a part of my videos. 50-year-old man that plays with toys. I don't play with them, I just set them up and they look cool, okay? Try to shame me for enjoying my life. Anybody need a CD-ROM? Anyway. All right, that was cool. This is actually really nice. Very light, very plasticky. Doesn't do anything except for move its legs and arms a little bit, but yeah. For a little desk decoration, I think that's pretty cool. Very cool. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. All right. It's in the box. What's next in the box? I don't know if this person was being facetious or giving me a hard time because of my desk. I don't know if you noticed, I'm rearranging my room here, my filming room, or my filming corner. And I put the lighter desk here as my main desk because the darker desk, people were complaining that they couldn't quite see things sometimes. And I thought the lighter might give a better contrast. If you like it, give me a comment, say I like it better. I don't know, but this, someone requested that I get a desk vacuum. Maybe they were actually curious about these things, or maybe they were telling me, Carl, your desk is always messy with dust and dirt. I don't think it is, but that's just me. Anyway, it looks like I don't see a charging cable or anything with it, but maybe I tossed it over there in the box. Anyway, this is a little desk vacuum that you turn on, and basically you're just able to vacuum your desk. So you push this in, you can lock it, but you can also push this in to be able to take off this part. I don't know why I would want to take that off. I don't know how to empty it. I don't know how to even turn this damn thing on. So I have to put in 2 AA batteries, so it's not chargeable. That's why it didn't come with a cable. Turn the switch. Oh, that's the switch on the back, and then you can push. Okay, let's give it a try. All right, let's see, figure out where the heck these batteries are. That's why I take that lid off. So this might be nice, something nice. I mean, it doesn't look too terrible. It's definitely cheap and definitely very, very kind of basic. But I guess the idea is that if you do have something on your desk, which let me get something. All right, so I'm gonna put a little powder of unknown origin on my desk here. And if I did spill something like this, is this going to be able to pick it up? Now, this powder is very powdery. Oh. Oh, well, that worked out pretty good. There's a little residue here, obviously, because it is powder. But you can see here, the cool thing about it is that it does have these little bristles on the bottom. And these little bristles are going to be able to agitate or move around anything that you're trying to suck up and then stop the suction from being too strong. But that ended up working out pretty good. So will I use this? Yeah. I mean, why not? It's a little vacuum. And sometimes I'm opening things here on my desk, sometimes all the time. And I end up getting little crumbs and stuff. And if it was you that suggested this because my desk is messy, well, maybe now it'll be clean. I don't know. But cool. All right, there's this. I will save this for the next in line because there looks to be something that's absolutely small in here. All right, so this. In rearranging my room, I find that there are so many cables that I get with all this tech that I sometimes don't know what goes to what. So my plan is, and this was another recommendation, it was a great recommendation. I said, you know what, that's going to work good for me, is I went ahead and my friend Corey at Freaky Tech Reviews picked up some colored one of these. I went ahead and picked up all the white ones on here, so they're more generic. But what they are small little tags that you can put on your cables. All right. So for example, this power cable, so it's just a general DC cable for a brick for my laptop. The problem is if it doesn't say on that power brick what it's for, sometimes they get separated and I'm like, where's the power brick for my laptop? Not my laptop, but for my electric shaver, or where's the power cable for this or for that? If when I get it, I can immediately take one of these little cable tags here, undo it, put it directly onto the cable so that it's there for good, right? So now I've got a label here that I can use, and then you can come in and basically label exactly what it is. And then you can write on both sides too, if you want to write the number of the laptop or whatever. But what that allows you to do with this pack of about, I don't know, there's a ton of them in here. But these are great. This is going to be really great because what I also like to do is that I have a lot of these USB-C cables that I get. So I got like a U-green charger and a cable that went with it. But if those get separated, I have no clue what cable it is. Great suggestion. I like these. And they're not, they're really, really, let me show it here. They're kind of really strong nylon-ish type material. with the hook and loop on one side, or hook and loop on one side and then the fabric on the other side. So when you put them over the cable, and it should fit most cables, you can kind of see how big that diameter can get, or you can squish it down and have a smaller diameter. Awesome. I like those. Those are probably, I think there's a couple people out there that's going to go, I'm going to get some of those because, you know, even under your desk, I've got like 5 or 6 different things plugged in back there and I don't know where they go to. So I kind of have to follow the cable up and figure out where it goes. This is going to solve that problem. All right, last thing in the haul is the decalechedron. This was recommended. It's the Infinity Dodecahedron Colorful Light. I said it right. So this is just a decoration thing that goes on your desk. Nothing special about it other than it looks neato burrito. All right, it's a little bit bigger than I thought it was going to be, which is kind of nice right off the bat. And it looks like, I think it looks like you have a remote control to change the color and the cycles and all that kind of stuff, because it is just LED lights inside there that are reflected by a mirror. There is an app you can get for your phone. All right, let's get this plugged in and see how she looks. Again, it's just for decoration, just for putting on your desk and looking cool. But someone recommended it, and I thought, why not? So plug it into USB. Oh, that's weird. It's got a headphone jack on it. And oh, that's cool. I guess it's supposed to be kind of like an infinity dodecahedron light. Let me go ahead and turn off my light right here. And then you can kind of see how bright it is. And yeah, I guess that looks pretty cool. It's kind of trippy to look directly at because it looks better in real life than I think I'm seeing on the screen here because it's a smaller preview window. But for something that kind of sits on your desk and looks pretty cool, sure, why not? I don't think it was that expensive. On all honesty, it's nothing more than just the internal mirrors, some LED lights, and I'm assuming I can use the universally remote type thing here. Yep, to change the colors. If I want a specific color to match my desk, like I want that color, or I can do the standard red, green, blue, and then auto, and it'll just sort of cycle through the stuff. Well, that's cool. Now it's just a little bit more interest in the back scene of my office here, and that's pretty cool. Well, that does it. Give me a like, give me a subscribe, please. It always helps. Share this with a friend who likes TEMU hauls. Comment down below if you want. I've been trying to get back to all my comments, but there's so many right now that it's hard to keep up with. But again, if this did help you out in any way, give me a like, subscribe. Let me know what things you're going to pick up. Let me know what you thought was the coolest. But again, this is all things that subscribers of the channel or people who commented down below suggested. And it was a good one. I'm definitely going to do another one of these in the future because I have a lot more things that I can get. But until next time, this is Carl from Tech for Goodies, and I'm out.